What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Gregson. Welcome to Shifting Lanes. We're here at Impetus Stay Still, and I have myself a GT350 Shelby Mustang. So I'm going to take this out on the road, and we're going to see what this thing is like right after I drove that Jaguar F-Type R. V8 after V8. Alright, so this one's a little louder. This is my second time in a GT350. We were kindly invited by Ford to go to the Pocono Raceway over in Pocono, Pennsylvania, or the Pocono Mountains, to do their Ford Performance Driving School for a couple of quick laps around Pocono Raceway, the infield portion, and it was awesome. This thing is a legitimate performance car. It's weird to say that about a muscle car, especially a Mustang, but let me tell you, if you have never driven one of these or have been in one of them, you need to, because your mind will be legitimately blown. So, a couple of quick things about this car. V8, 5.2 liter, flat plane crank Voodoo engine. Probably one of the best V8 engines of all time as far as sound and cool factor. You also get a 6-speed manual transmission and one of the best exhaust notes in the entire industry. So, yeah, right off the bat, whoa, what a great noise. This thing definitely competes with the Jaguar F-Type R for me as far as best out-of-the-box exhaust as note, basically. So you're looking at you can probably pick one of these up for around between 50 and 60 grand right now. I think a couple of used ones around the country are going for around 45, maybe 50. But yeah, this thing is a serious performance car. It is mind-boggling on track how much grip, how good the brakes are, and how quick and fast the thing. This thing, the engine and the rev limiter on this thing are unreal. This thing revs to nearly 8,500 RPM. So let's see how it sounds. Oh yeah, that'll get the job done. Just so good. Wow. Sport mode is on. Exhaust in sport. Always put exhaust in sport. Cruising around just on a back road, so we're basically in 6th gear. We're doing 55. It's a 55 mile an hour road, and the car's very poised. It's very planted. This is a performance car, so I'm getting jostled around a little bit. It's not, let's fix that light balance a little. It is not a Grand Tourer. This is not a Jag F-Type R. This is one of the cars you want to take to the track. This is a true sports car in the fullest sense of the term, to be honest with you. There's a lot of people that I'm gonna catch hate from for that, but you know what? This is a sports car. If you don't think so, you have definitely not driven one of these things. There's a reason why this thing is in race series competing against Porsches and Aston Martins and all of those types of cars. Is because it can keep up, and it deserves to be on that same plane and that same echelon as those cars. Comfort level, it's not great. This is a performance sports car, muscle car type of thing. So you are not going to be comfortable over long periods of time with this. The seat is not really that comfortable, but that's because it's a performance seat. You are bolstered very well. The bolstering's incredible in this. I fit perfectly in this seat. The bolstering is great, but it's great for track driving and sporty driving and spirited driving. It's not great. I can definitely feel myself thinking that this would be an uncomfortable seat to be in over a very long period of time. And that has nothing to do with weight. It has nothing to do with how skinny or fat you are or whatever. It's just that this is a very focused seat and a very focused cockpit. The rest of the cockpit's pretty good. It's a little barren in here. This GT has the navigation system, which I believe is an option on these cars. And it's pretty sparse. You get a couple of dials, you get your gauge cluster, you get some of the switch gear down here, and you get your 6-speed with some cup holders. That's it. This thing is really geared towards the driver. Ford wanted to make this particular Mustang more geared towards driving and engagement. So drive this car. Don't fiddle around with crap when you're driving. You want to put your foot down. You want to take this thing through turns. Oh, and God, does it sound good. And I was just talking to Chad about this thing, and you know, if I had 50 to 60 grand right now, there would be a few cars that I would consider. One, the Jaguar F-Type R, of course, as I mentioned in my previous video. The second one would be the new BMW M2. The BMW M2 is a fantastic little car. As far as sports coupes goes, it really is getting back to BMW's roots as an amazing little sports car. The third one is this guy. This is a car that I would absolutely consider buying if I had a spare 50, 60 grand lying around, because it's just that good. And I think Chad made a great point as we were talking about it. Easy track access, take the Mustang over those other two, honestly. It's that good. For a grand tour, you're going to want the Jag F-Type R. For a daily, maybe the M2. For me, in order, as far as what I would like, I'd probably take the Jag, then this, then the M2. But those three are all in the same plane. The looks of this car are pretty interesting, because this is a bright ass blue car with white stripes down the middle, huge wing off the back, and then this engine sound, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So you're definitely gonna get some looks with this guy. So we're actually stopping behind a school bus, and I guarantee you some of these kids are gonna look as we drive by. So yeah, this is one of those cars that you just get noticed in. Yep, just got a thumbs up from one of those kids. So yeah, this is a car to get noticed in, and it's not that you buy this to get noticed, but it's just one of those cars that people are gonna turn their heads and be like, wow, that's pretty cool looking. Oh, it's so good. And it handles so well. It's so flat, there's no body roll at all. It's, oh God, it's one of those cars that you just wanna keep pushing. I believe Chad's behind me actually, so I'm pushing a little harder. This is one of those cars that's just miles per gallon. The handling is so good. Mustangs should not be able to do this. The handling is so good. It's so good. I cannot describe. This feels like a lighter car than it actually is. This feels like a car that, this feels like a car that is so much lighter than it is. It feels like it weighs 400 pounds less than the cornering prescribes. It's nuts. This is one of the biggest kind of mind F cars on the market today. You go out and you buy a Mustang GT, you're like, yeah, you're getting a 5-liter V8, you're getting a big engine, you can make a lot of noise, and yeah, it goes, and you can do sweet burnouts, you can do all this, that, and the other thing. You can probably hit a lot of crowds at Cars and Coffee. Too soon? But you get this, you upgrade to the GT350, and it blows your mind with how good this thing performs. It's nuts. You don't get in a Mustang and expect this. If you do, then you are a much better driver and everything than I am, because this is one of those things that it absolutely is one of those cars that you think should be doing the exact opposite of what it actually does. So yeah, I mean, Ford, bravo. I mean, this is one of the best cars I've ever driven, ever. And doing press events like this, it's saying a lot, because I've driven a lot of cars over the last 3 or 4 years through shifting lanes. And yeah, I mean, to be up there with the Jag F-Type R and the M2, and in that same category, you've legitimately accomplished something that not a lot of muscle cars or any other cars can say. I mean, daily ability of this car, not great. I mean, the noise is amazing. I mean, I would daily this car every day. If you have a family, nope. If you have a commute that you need a gas mileage car, nope. This is a car that's very focused. If you want this car and you want it as a daily, great, go for it. I mean, that, you know, that's for you. But as a daily commuter, it's just not. It's not meant for that. This is a focused tool to, you know, punish a back road. So not a daily driver at all. All right, we got a little straight bit here. Let's really put our foot down. God, that sounds good. God, that sounds so good. Oh, 5.2 liter flat plane. Oh man, just a magnificent engine. And I mean, to those who say that this engine sounds bad or this exhaust note sounds bad off the bat, wrong. So wrong. You're dumb. I mean, overall, my impressions of this car are obviously pretty positive. It's one of those cars that you just want to be in and want to be around. You know, joking aside, I would take this to any Cars and Coffee, and you know, I would love the attention that it would get, and I would love to come up and talk to people about my car, the GT350. You know, that it's a really special car. The gearbox is brutal, but not overwhelmingly crazy. It's approachable. You can definitely drive this car. You could learn how to drive a manual in this car. I believe that that's how good this gearbox is. I think that it's just an overall great package, and it's just an absolute blast. So you know, Ford really hit it out of the park with this thing, and I would absolutely own one of these, you know, at the drop of a hat. So that does it for this quick review. I am coming back in to Monticello Motor Club, and I am going to jump in a couple more cars, but I am done filming for the day. So I'm going to park this up. I'm going to drive a few more things, and we will see you next time. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Can't really stop you from doing that, but I hope you did like it, and I hope you consider subscribing as well, because, you know, we make these videos for you guys, and we do things like this, come to test days and input for you guys. It's really fun for us, but ultimately we want to create good content for you, and, you know, have you really enjoy the experience along with us, because, you know, not everyone can do it, and you know, we have that opportunity, so we're really excited to bring these things to you, our fans. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and stay tuned for more from Input Test Days, as well as more Volvo content. If you liked it, great, thank you so much, and I will catch you next time. See ya.